Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Giving up after 10 years feels like letting her down. Recovery. So many people on this sub seem so much stronger than myself. My wife, 28, and I, 28, were high school sweethearts. It still feels like this is just a story about us. We have 2 kids, 4 meters, and 5F. We have been together for 11 years and married 5. We dated in high school for over a year before we moved in together. We had fantasized about it together as kids do. We didn't know what we were getting into. I would move heaven and earth for this girl. She was everything I ever wanted. It was real love, and I didn't know what to do with it. In the first few months of our relationship, 16 years old, she cheated with one of her friends. We were in a fight. Even at that age I knew how young and dumb we were. It struck me as a childish mistake. We reconciled. I should have just left, but I don't blame myself for not knowing better. We had dreams together that we couldn't afford when we left high school, tried to go to college but couldn't work full shifts and classes full time, so we failed. We got to keep the debt. We never had enough money, but it never seemed to bother us. We could still save up a few $100s for a couple weekend trips a year. She was dishonest about everything, her not wanting to tell me the smallest thing because she was insecure about how others viewed her led to many a long night, running the worst through my mind just to find out she didn't want me to know she smoked weed alone. There was thousands of instances like this, together for 3,700 days, and not a day went by that I didn't know she was hiding something. It was always revealed to be something stupid. When we were 18, she had an emotional affair with a coworker. I caught her, told her to end it, and we reconciled. Again, in my head, we are just dumb kids. The cheating stopped when my hypervigilance began. Still, there was constant deceit that made it impossible to trust her, but I stayed. We are growing. I know I have been changing. She must be too. Between then and turning 22, life was mundane. We paid the bills, tried to save, took some trips, enjoyed each other's company, but even in this stage communication was breaking down. I had no idea how traumatized I was by her past mistakes. I lost interest in keeping tabs on her. I don't know what happened in this period, but she did seem to be more invested in the relationship than before. It may have been the best time we had together, but I can't remember it because of the constant fear I was in. We had our kids back to back at 22 and 23 years old. I told her it wasn't a good idea. I already felt so tired. We were too young. I don't know shit about kids. She couldn't bring herself to not keep it. I love this woman. I'm not going to try to talk her into an abortion. She would never forgive me. My daughter was born and she was / incredible. Rinse and repeat the next year with my amazing son. She impressed the hell out of me. She worked the whole time, never seemed to even struggle. I found it hard to help her because she was so good at it. I fell in love with her all over again those years. She was awesome. Our kids slept between us for the next 4 years. Intimacy was impossible. We found time to have sex fairly regularly, but it became planned, not the same. We were always mom and dad. The people we were had slowly started to fade out of memory, but the fear never did. We discussed moving the kids, but her postpartum was difficult and I didn't want to cause her pain. When my son was 3, I finally got them into their own room. By that time it was too late. We went through the motions, but I couldn't get her to connect with me like we used to. Eventually I gave up too. Communication has been at an all-time low these last 2 years, most of the time not even fighting, sharing generalities about our lives, talking about the kids, laughing together was the best part of these times. Even that started to fade. Since January she has been distancing herself even more. I noticed, but I was suffering an extreme mental toll and couldn't save us this time. I would come out from bed after having nightmares and panic attacks related to a work accident, begging her to come to bed. This lasted for a month before I gave up and suffered alone. I cried myself to sleep most of those nights. January was when she started the emotional affair that would consume her and bring us down. When she told me 3 months ago she wanted to leave, I was planning to talk about recommitting. I had admitted to her all my insecurities and failings, admitted how I didn't trust her for so long and that caused me to become cold. I showed her time and time again that things could be amazing. We were so dumb for so long, look how easy it can be. At this point she was already sleeping with him. I told her when she left, just tell me when you start something new. It will hurt, but it beats sitting here hoping. She promised she would, but she had already been involved with someone else for months. I had to deal with her living in my home during this time, leaving our house to see him, but it wasn't my business anymore. Eventually I got sick of the obvious deceit plastered on her face, and I did something I haven't done in 8 years. I looked through everything she owns. She listened to me begging her to come to bed. She stayed in the living room so she could text her 21-year-old manager all night while I contemplated suicide alone. She knew. I know I wasn't perfect. I know I gave into the fear and trauma. I know it changed me into a bad partner, but I also know that wasn't me. I know it was brought on by her actions and failure to make up for them, but I still can't shake the feeling that I let her down. Maybe we both let each other down, but I don't think I deserved this. It's all on her. It really is. You aren't letting anyone down. You're accepting reality and giving up hope that the past could have ever been different. That's very honest and brave of you. And it is what it is. This woman is just going to have to learn hard lessons. In the end, it sounds like you have given it your all. And that is really admirable, and all society could ask for. Sometimes you have to let go of the person falling. I'm sorry. You made me cry. I had no idea how badly I needed to hear that. Even coming from an online stranger, it hit so hard. Thanks so much. You're welcome. And it can be great to cry sometimes. Always feel the emotions. Especially the hard ones. I used to literally swallow my feelings and developed thyroid issues. Lol. So the only way out is through. Like dying, this heartbreak is something that has to be passed through, and passed through alone. Just breathe in, and let go. Never be afraid to reach out for help, but definitely realize that this is nothing but a huge hurdle to overcome. And only you by yourself can jump over, even if it's scary. Acknowledging that the relationship has met its end is the first step to life you always wanted and maybe thought you had. I've been telling myself the same thing. But really, you are doing the best that you can in this situation. And every day will get easier. Eventually you will be able to take away huge pieces of knowledge and life experience from this and appreciate it for what it is. No matter what your decision is. Take this entire thing as an opportunity to find happiness, rediscover who you are, and practice your virtues, patience, grace, humbleness. But don't let her actions dim you. I was once married to a wonderful man like yourself, and I was a lot like your wife. Same ages as well. She does have some hard lessons to learn. Still learning now, and I truly believe in karma. You absolutely gave this marriage your all, and you can hold your head high knowing that you did so. I'm sure it's been mentioned here, but therapy and counseling after an emotional trauma can do wonders for your sense of peace. What happened with you and your husband? Did you guys get back together? No, we're both with different partners now. I'll just say that we each got what we deserved. There is so much sadness in these 10 words. I hope you get to a better place, and soon. You deserve better. You really do. I'm so sorry. I wish only the best for you in the future. You don't deserve anything that she threw at you. She just didn't care. Change her behavior. I think that you should separate yourself from her. DNA test your kids and talk to an attorney. She doesn't seem to truly love you. You deserve better. To get better, even if that's not another spouse, you need to love yourself. If you continue to subject yourself to her, then you will continue into a depression. Live for yourself, love yourself. Only you can do that. Eventually your kids will see it too. They'll learn that way. I am so sorry about what you have been through. You're a good man and a man of character and a man of humility and intelligence. Unfortunately, you fell in love with a woman who was already flawed. What made her that way is not important. She became a serial cheater and there was very little that you could do about that. The most important things in life right now are taking care of yourself and your children. You will get through this with some bumps and bruises, but hopefully you will be able to concentrate on yourself and do things that you had to give up so many years ago. As for your ex, though she has a lot of issues, she also had the chances to make the right choices, but she chose not to. That's on her, not on you. Wishing you all the best. I haven't heard a compliment in years, I'm just now noticing. Thanks for your words. You are welcome. You can at least tell yourself and your kids that you are not the one who gave up and that at least you didn't turn to someone else. You didn't let her down. She lied and she cheated and it's all on her. Fair, it's a weak consolation prize to be on the right side of something so shit. I can say I gave it my all for sure. It won't be that weak in the future when you both have moved on, but only one of you gets the solace of knowing you did everything you could to keep your family together and kids healthy. You've been through a lot and you didn't deserve to suffer like that. I really hope you're able to get in contact with a mental health professional to help you sort through some of this trauma and these feelings. It could really help. And always remember, Terry's no shame in therapy, everyone should be in it. You deserve to start healing, let yourself do that. I also really hope you're no longer feeling suicidal, and if you are, please reach out for help, and if at any point you feel like you might have trouble keeping yourself safe, go to the nearest emergency department. Less than 3, you belong here on Earth with us. I appreciate the encouragement. I am much better than I was then, even though the hits haven't stopped coming. I may be calcified right now and waiting for a snap, but really I just feel like I've been at the bottom for so long I'm ready to start climbing out. Thanks again. Since you are already here, I definitely recommend infidelity subreddits, except adultery. Just reading through them plus survivinginfidelity.com and chumplady.com will enlighten most of your self-doubt. To begin with, the cheating is 100% on her. No marriage is perfect. There will always be shortcomings from both. But it's never a justification for betrayal. You were in the same marriage and you never cheated, I assume. Lots of other issues you have to be straightened out with. But it's not your fault. Bro, I have tears in my eyes feeling your pain and suffering. Have a friend who married his HS sweetheart and they drifted apart but are still together. She too was the one who was not happy, but in truth she had outgrown him. It happens, we start the same but life changes us, and over the years the distance increases and our values change. You are okay. Stay true to yourself, and most importantly, remember joy comes from within. So, this is all on her. We may be unhappy, but we should try to work it out through communication or counseling. The chasm may be too great at times to bridge, but that does not justify infidelity. I am sure you are not perfect, but she crossed the line in the sand. You are young, take joy in the children you have, and remember she is the only mother they will have. Protect them in the storm. Take time to heal and start your dreams again. Only time heals this, so accept the pain and know that in time you will make it through the storm. No matter what happens, you can live your full life knowing you were faithful to her and your kids. Marriage takes two, so you cannot do it by yourself. Read up on the 180, start doing that, ignore her, work on yourself, plan a future for you and your kids. She will likely, at some point in the future, want to try again, and I really hope that you will be strong enough to leave her alone and find someone who can love you and that you can actually trust. Absolutely not. You let no one down. Lots of good things for you to read here. I'm glad you know it's over. Be ready to stand strong though when she realizes she wants you back for a meal ticket. I'll be surprised if that doesn't happen. You've got to lawyer up now and finish the paperwork on this ASAP now that you know it's over. Strike while she's in the fog, as they say. Now to hit the pragmatic nuts and bolts concerns. You need to get STD testing if there's been any sexual contact at all with her. Split the finances. Stop taking to her completely unless it's about kids or divorce. As much as possible, ignore her existence completely. File on her ASAP. This all sucks. And it hurts. And you were the bigger, stronger, more righteous person. You just married the wrong one. Time to fix that and have some good clean living without her around your neck. You'll be surprised how much lighter and stronger you'll feel while you are taking positive, powerful steps for your kids and yourself. You can PM anyone here, got help and encouragement, brother. We've been there. Given her past indiscretions, your relationship was pretty much destined to end this way. What she did as a teen wasn't just a dumb kid mistake times 2. Dumb kids know right from wrong. And while sometimes they can't control the impulse, they usually don't make huge mistakes that hurt the person they claim to love twice. She showed you who she was. And now you see she wasn't lying. That said, you're still you, and now the whole world is your oyster. It's gonna hurt for a while, and you have to go through that, there's no way around it. But you will come out on the other side incredibly strong. Best wishes to you, man. Man, I'm so sorry for you. You are 28 years old. I won't talk to you like you are my son. I'm 52. Listen, the life is like a book. Every chapter start, develop and finish. You finish one, now turn the page and start a new one where you discover your ambition, your ability, your skill in fatherhood, and maybe in next 2 or 3 you found someone that love you and your kid like you deserve. But remember, for build something solid you need a strong ground, so build the ground. Education or professional skills, get in shape, be more confident in yourself, and more important, do not read the first chapter again. She cheated on you for all the time, the kid's in bad between you and her, it's a huge red flag, and make a DNA test for the babies. I wish you all the best, man. Good luck, man, and stay safe, you and your kids. Greetings from Italy. I'm also much older, I totally agree. I have been down a similar road, it doesn't have a good outcome. Don't whip a dead horse. Focus on yourself. Be the best father you can be. I had an amazing life, it passed as just a bad chapter in my life's book. I raised 2 children who became successful. We love each other dearly. Unfortunately, and understandably, stopped contact with their mother, drugs, alcohol and arrests till recently. She's 60 plus, I didn't wish this on her, she made choices. They had consequences. Don't ever be afraid to walk away. I wish you the best that life has to offer. You wasted your life with a serial cheater. It's all her undoing. I haven't wasted any of my life, I wouldn't trade my kids or who I am today for all of those years back. I appreciate what I assume was a well-intentioned point, though, in my heart I know it was her. You already did a paternity test. She is a cheater, and cheaters are for life. If you don't accept this fact, then you will suffer this again. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Run for your life, man, live your life for you. Don't hate her, she's had enough as well. So sad this is happening to you. You never let her down, she did let herself down. You need to move on from her. Good luck. Sorry you're going through this. You didn't ask for advice, but here it is, divorce her. She doesn't love you. She is obviously bored with your marriage. Let her go as quickly and cheaply as possible. Fight for custody of your children. Good luck. Yes, 150% yes. This is almost an identical story my boyfriend lived through. He was a couple years older, but same concept. Super young, she was 18 when she got pregnant with their first son. Got married at 19, and they had their second son. My boyfriend did not want any more kids, well she did, so she stopped taking her pill. Fast forward about 2 years tops and out comes baby boy number 3. She was 21 years old, he was 25. They both worked and went college. He was working on his BS and her RN. He helped her study every single day. She became the RN and soon a night shift ER nurse. Slowly over time, a year tops, she cheated. She told him, he forgave her, but like yourself, became paranoid. Insecure. Wanting to do anything and everything to save his marriage. He loved her. He loved his boys. She vowed to never again cheat. Well, about a year later, maybe she had a clean 2 years without cheating, I can't remember exactly, but regardless, she cheated. This time with two men, a firefighter and an EMS medic. They had just bought a beautiful new home, in a wonderful neighborhood as well. Now mind you, my boyfriend worked quite a bit. And trained for marathons. So he was not always there. I think that's how he tried to justify it to himself for a long time. But at the same time, he was the one putting them to bed at night, packing lunches, doing homework, so much, because she worked nights. Well, he found out about these two new ones, called one of them, had a very open discussion. Dude felt horrible, said she tells everyone at work that they were separated. This was never the case or even a topic for them at this point. So he asked her to leave. A pretty dedicated mother, at least he thought so at the time, left. Got a shit-ass apt for 6 months, but came begging back. He took her back. This was her last chance. Velp, EMS medic and man number 4, was the one. On Valentine's Day, they wake up, he rolls over to kiss her and she hides her phone, already texting someone. My boyfriend grabbed the phone and started searching. She flipped out and attacked him. He held his arm out as she clawed at him, kicking him and screaming. He made it to their son's room and locked the door. She took his phone and called 911, saying he was beating her. Holy hell, this man wouldn't hurt a fly. So he's holed up in the bedroom reading these texts and his works officially collapsed. He couldn't do it anymore. It was over. Fast forward, cops come, he's beyond shocked as he was the one with all the scratches and bruises. Regardless, they took him to jail. He got right out, and filed for divorce within the week. She petitioned for full custody. And BC she had the domestic charge still pending, she was temporarily granted it. Insanity. They started going to therapy as part of the divorce process. BC he fought for his boys. Within the first 2 to 3 sessions the psych knew this chick was a fake. She read right through her sobs and BS. The day of their custody hearing, the psych walked into the courtroom, and told the judge that if she gives this woman full custody she will be filing a petition against it, as she had clinically DxD'd her with borderline personality disorder, EEC. My boyfriend was heartbroken, his family ripped apart, slowly and steadily over the years. He just couldn't find it in himself to actually give up on their love until the culmination of the final blow. She ended up marrying number 4, the medic. But what's amazing is, he never once, ever, said a bad thing about her in front of his boys. Always amazing with communication, more to keep himself sane and her at bay. BC she gets ducking insane, but never a bad word. Fast forward 10 years, we've been together for 4.5. Amazing, trusting, loving, mature relationship. Karma, she was left last year by her husband, for a much younger ER nurse. It took everything in us not to laugh. Her boys were devastated. He was their stepdad for the bulk of their childhood and my BF had become somewhat close to him, as did I over the years, but their boys did not know the truth. It was her continuous manipulative, lying, no conscience, only caring about herself attitude, that got worse with age, and her boys have seen the light. The youngest, 17, moved out his sophomore year and full-time with his father. Their middle son has not talked to her since he was 15, he's 19 now, and the oldest, 20, well, he sort of tries to keep the peace. They still co-parent well enough for the youngest who's in his last year of high school, but she is just a liar and a cheater. Always will be. She will never change. She broke my boyfriend's heart in a way I can only imagine, and still saw when we first started dating, the long-lasting effects of being lied to, cheated on, given hope, stomped on again, put down and made to feel like he was the crazy one, on repeat for 13/14 years. It's taken us a long time, therapy, many conversations, tears, to get to where we are. He's the most amazing person in the world who never deserved this. But you know what, he is the one WHO ultimately won. So keep your chin up. Unfortunately, the worst is yet to come. I hate to say it, but it is. File for divorce and leave ASAP. While the kids are young enough. Fight tooth and nail for them. They will need you when her instability, lying, manipulative behavior shines through. Stay strong, good sir. Never ever give up. You are worth it. You will be happy again. You will win in the end. This sucks. According to the post, you gave 110%, maybe not perfectly but that's forgivable, and she started looking elsewhere. I hate these situations because no one really wins. She checked out in a very cruel way and she knew you were at your lowest and didn't even try to fake concern. My advice would be to hit the gym, see a therapist/counselor, focus on your kids, and leave her to the streets. Sounds like you deserve better, man. I'm sorry you are going through this, and that your partner has betrayed you like this. Sometimes when people grow up together as you two did, you also grow in different directions. At some point you need to realize it's not worth trying to salvage a decaying relationship. For the sake of your own emotional well-being and your children, it may be best to try and salvage at least a decent co-parenting relationship and try not to resent her too much. And please seek counseling to help you deal with the betrayal and its after effects. And please remember that you gave the relationship your all, and its failure is not on you. Probably the most constructive advice I've seen here. At this point you can't fix your marriage, but you can make sure a therapist isn't fixing your kids when they're adults due to a bad co-parenting situation. So did you file? What she has done to you is so horrendous and evil. I would like to spit out a hateful diatribe about her, but I don't sense that in your post, just sadness and loss. Because of this, I feel I should only offer words of comfort. Just remember these things. She is not the woman you knew and fell in love with. She never was. The woman you thought you knew was always an illusion and a lie. The one you know now is the one she's always been, an ugly abomination and a waste of your love and time. It just took something to come out for you to realize this. Do not waste another moment of thought, consideration or emotion on her. The only good things she gave you were your children. Focusing on them as well as yourself will be the best thing you can do. You are starting a long road to recover yourself. It will be hard in the beginning, and you will stumble at times. The movies in your head will be playing for a while, but will hopefully fade into just bad fuzzy memories, if that. But over time and with help, love and support, you will come back, not as you were before you found out, but someone that will be better than that. There's so much more I would like to say, but it's probably already been said by others. All I can add concerning that is I feel for you and hope you find the peace you so deserve. And the Karma Express hits her hard. Get STD, DNA tests and meet with a lawyer to see what a divorce would look like. Build a support system to help you get through this and make sure you don't move out of the house. You still have plenty of life to live after you get divorced. I think you both were so young when you fell in love. That alone can be a detriment. Still, she needed to tell you what she was feeling and initiate a separation or something. It wasn't fair what she did. You were married and took vows. Divorce is like death. You will be grieving that woman for a while. But she is not trustworthy. So you must start fresh with your children. You can do this and I have a feeling you will be much happier. Your first mistake was begging. You never do that. Such a helpful and constructive comment, rolling eyes face. It is absolutely all on her. She made it clear time and time again that she didn't have the capacity to love you as much as you deserve to be loved, and while you were willing to accept half of what you deserved, she wasn't willing to give a quarter of what she had to give. Here's something else to note, you keep saying we're just dumb kids. She may have been a dumb kid, but you weren't. You were grown up and mature and doing your very best to not force someone else to grow up for you. It's hard to fall in love with someone whose heart isn't as big as yours. Don't let it stop you from giving your heart to someone new in the future. Your heart deserves to be loved and appreciated and cherished and pieced back together. I know it's tough, but you need to work out those feelings and let her leave forever. Co-parent or find a way to get full custody, your choice. But just remember, you are worthy of these things. You are worthy not only of life, but worthy of a life that feels worth living. My bro, your mental state, your physical state, all your state doesn't deserve this. You gave literally your all. All your energy you places into trying to bring this relationship back to its glory, but you're draining yourself while making no progress, and it's not your fault at all. You're putting your energy into her and she doesn't want to revive it. You say you're letting her down, but the truth is she have let you down already over and over again, and she doesn't care how it makes you feel. You need to leave. You need to get out of that now. She is literally sucking away your youth. When I first read the title, I thought you'd spent 10 years trying to get past one infidelity. This is not that. She has repeatedly been a bad communicator, repeatedly cheated, and is generally giving you new reasons every day. This is hideous. You two have been together since you were 17. You don't seem to understand that the odds were always against you. You don't understand that sex and relationships between the two of you still sound like high school drama. Let her go. She very much deserves to grow and mature. You deserve to live a life that isn't about propping up a relationship that is strangling itself. History is one thing, bringing up that she cheated on you at 16 is a creep show. Celebrate that you have two reportedly fabulous kids, consider seeing a mediator to help effect an uncoupling where no one gets hurt, and then get yourself a therapist. It's definitely not a creep show. It has nothing to do with her being 16, it has to do with the presence of deceit since the beginning and how he shouldn't have written it off. History is history regardless of age. Middle dot. I hope you are seeking therapy as well. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.